This happened about 2 years ago when I was at a music festival in Norway. The festival had a full lineup of black metal bands playing, so I was excited to be there. My friends had paid for my ticket, which included a VIP pass for every meet and greet that was being held before any of the shows started. Of course, I couldn't pass this up. My favorite band was headlining the entire festival. I can't quite recall what the name of the band was. The events of that festival are a bit fuzzy. Anyways, what happened on the last day of the festival will haunt me for the rest of my life. And if you were to see me, you'd think I was a lot younger than that. As a matter of fact, even though I was 20 years old, people thought I was around 12 years old. When I had gone into the festival for the first string of shows, security would frequently stop me and ask to see my ID since I looked underage. I'd even encounter a few people that would ask me where my parents were and then just walk away when I told them that my parents had passed away a year prior to the festival. My friends had left me to roam around on my own, knowing that I didn't know the area very well. They all came with me just to see a few bands that were more popular than most of the ones that I wanted to see. I probably should have gotten one of them to stay with me, since people around these festivals were typically total creeps and loved to perv on young guys and girls, but being the naive young black metal fan that I was, a lot of people that go to these festivals will tell you that if an artist notices something happening that shouldn't, someone is probably going to get stabbed, because a lot of them are actually crazy. It was around midnight when the last concert ended and my friends were nowhere in sight. I found this a bit irritating because we were supposed to meet back in the entrance so that we could all go to the hotel together. When I was getting ready to start my 5-minute journey to the hotel, a woman I had never seen at this festival ran up to me. "Hey, you going back to town?" she asked me, the tone of her voice a bit shaky, like she had been crying for a couple of hours. "Yeah, why?" "I'm trying to get back to my hotel so I can find out where my friends are," I told her, still visibly irritated that my friends had left me alone. Almost instantly, this woman grabbed onto my arm, begging me to walk back to town with her. I pulled my arm free from her grip, now extremely pissed off that this woman was trying to follow me around. "What the hell are you doing? I don't have time for you grabbing onto me. I have to get back to my hotel," I told her, making sure that she could tell that I was not happy at all. "Can I stay with you tonight? My boyfriend won't take me home and I can't find him anywhere," she started begging. I was already fed up with her harassing me, so I just started walking away. For some reason though, she started to follow me, and no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't get her away from me. No matter how many times she started begging to spend the night with me, I ignored every one of her attempts to get my attention. Now I should mention that I am a big guy. Not as big as I look, like a whale, but big as in I could easily pick this girl up and throw her clear across a lake. I managed to get to the hotel and could see one of my friends standing outside the door smoking a cigarette. He looked surprised that I was just now showing up. "Dude, I thought you were already here. I tried calling you a few minutes ago to get you to come down and to have a smoke with me. Where have you been?" he asked me, oblivious to the girl that had now stopped dead in her tracks a few feet away. "I was waiting at the gates to the festival for you guys to meet me there. My phone didn't ring at all," I responded, pulling my phone out of my pocket and checking it for missed calls. Instead of finding missed calls, I found about 60 text messages from an unknown number. The intensity of these text messages were ranging from things like, "Do you want to hang out with me?" to, "I can see you, you look better when you are awake." At this point, I was beyond scared. Who was this person that sent these messages? Even though I knew answering the messages was a bad idea, I still responded to the very last message with, "Who the fuck is this and how did you get my number?" There was no response, which made this even creepier. I came to the conclusion that I was just being paranoid and went inside to take a shower and get some sleep before tomorrow's final string of concerts. There was something that caught my eye though. The door to my hotel room had been busted open. Was there someone in my room? As I walked in, I called out to anyone that might be inside. "Hello, is someone in here? I can see you busted the door open." I made my presence known to whoever could have possibly been in my room. Thinking nothing more of it, I took my time getting in the shower and going to bed to make sure that some kind of masked murderer wasn't in there. When I lay down at around 3 a.m., I heard something shuffling around in the closet. Hearing noises at 3 a.m. and having dealt with some creepy girl on my way back from the music festival was complete nightmare fuel. I hid under the blankets hoping that whatever was shuffling around would go away. "I know you are not sleeping. I saw you hide under your covers, little boy." A very feminine voice whispered to me, "Shit, shit, 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 shit." Someone was in my room, just waiting for me to acknowledge them. I shot up and grabbed a lamp from the nightstand and turned on the overhead lights. Whatever was in the closet was going to get the beating of a lifetime. I grabbed my phone, dialing the number for the local police station, and had the lamp ready to hit whatever was in the closet watching me. As I opened the door, I could hear dispatch asking if everything was alright, and that's when the same girl from earlier came rushing out of the closet, pocket knife in hand, trying to kill me. Knowing that dispatch could hear the struggle, I started screaming out for help. The police were there in what seemed like seconds and had the girl handcuffed in the back of a squad car. They took my statement and told me that I would be contacted by tomorrow night for further questioning about the incident. Who knows what would have happened if I didn't call the cops when I did. One thing still bothers me though. How did she manage to get past my friend and I when we were standing out front and there was no other access door to go through? Whatever, it doesn't matter now. She's going to jail for a long while and I can finally sleep. So to the obviously disturbed girl that followed me to the hotel, I hope you rot in prison. It was around midnight on Halloween when all of this happened. My cousin was living with my parents and I, and had made friends at the local high school since she had been here. Well, she got invited to go run around one of those rich neighborhoods with her friends, but had to drag me along with her since my mom said it wouldn't be fair if she got to have fun and I did not. Of course, she wasn't happy about this. Now I should mention that I was around 12 years old at the time and I looked like I was about 16. After having to deal with me for a while, my cousin decided to run off with some guy that she had just met to do God knows what behind someone's house. Since her friends all ran off somewhere else, I was left in the middle of a strange place, unable to defend myself from any possible attackers. Knowing that my parents would be extremely pissed off, I called my mom and told her that my cousin abandoned me to hook up with some random guy. Like I said before, my mom was pissed. "She did what?" "Stay right there. I'll be there in an hour to come and get you," my mom told me. I was already crying at this point and begged my mom to hurry up. After hanging up the phone, I noticed that I was standing in a spot that was poorly lit and moved just a few feet away to stand under one of the streetlights. About 5 minutes later, my cousin still hadn't come back. It was probably best that she did not. I noticed this guy in a Freddy Krueger costume staring at me just a few feet away. He walked over to where I was, flashing his fake glove at me like he was actually Freddy. I got extremely nervous and pulled my phone back out of my bag and looked down at it, getting ready to text one of my friends that was in the neighborhood.
"Are you lost, little girl? Do you want to come inside my house to stay warm?"
the guy asked me. "No thanks, my mom will be here any minute to pick me up. I'll be fine," I responded, still looking at my phone, trying not to make eye contact with the guy.
"Come on, you can call your mom and tell her my address so that she knows where to go. I promise I won't hurt you. I've got a scary movie on at the house." He started trying to entice me to go with him.
I said no. "Now leave me alone. My mom will be here soon," I told him. Trying to show that I wasn't interested, the guy kept insisting and just wouldn't stop bothering me, so I started to go towards the entrance of the neighborhood to meet my mom there. For some reason though, this guy kept following me. Almost immediately my mom noticed me walking towards her car that was coming through the entrance and stopped. I opened the door and slid into the front seat, slamming the door so that the guy couldn't interact with me anymore. We couldn't find my cousin at all after driving around the neighborhood for what seemed like forever, so we left her there, knowing that she would call us whenever she wanted to come home. So creepy guy that was dressed like Freddy Krueger on Halloween, stay the hell away from me and get bent. I was 13 at the time, and of course puberty hit me like a ton of bricks. This happened during the last day of school, my freshman year of high school. Unfortunately, I had gotten my monthly visitor during my math class and had to call my mom to pick me up, seeing as I was too embarrassed to continue with my classes. My mom came and picked me up and brought a complete change of clothes for me so that I could alleviate some of the embarrassment. Once I had changed and followed my mother out to her brand new Chevy Tahoe, she asked me if I wanted to just go and have a girls' day since I had to suffer the embarrassment that I did. Before I even had the chance to answer, she drove straight to my favorite restaurant so that we could get lunch. I thought that was pretty cool. Anyways, my mom let me order anything I wanted and then took me shopping for new clothes to replace what had been ruined. And just so I could get some more expensive stuff along with the new clothes. It was a known fact in my family that I was an avid gamer, and the latest installment of my favorite game had just hit the stores. When I saw the posters for it, I begged my mom to buy it for me, citing what had happened in school as a reason for her to get it for me. Of course, being her favorite and only daughter, my mother caved and spent the $80 for the deluxe edition that came with downloadable content and the collectibles. I was over the moon and couldn't wait to play it. Knowing that I didn't want to leave the game store just yet, my mom told me that she was going to go to the lingerie shop on the first floor and to meet her in the food court when I was done. Before she walked off, my mom slipped me a wad of cash totaling about $500 and told me that the PlayStation had mysteriously shorted out and caught on fire while I was at school, and told me to buy a new one. Great, broken PlayStation at home, but at least I get an instant replacement. I was crouched down looking at the newest line of PlayStation consoles that were on the shelves, and picked up the 1TB storage PlayStation Pro along with a couple more games and an external drive that had an additional 4 terabytes on it. When I took everything up to the cashier, I noticed this guy staring at me. He was about 6'7" and was really scrawny, but the way he was staring at me made me uncomfortable. It was like he wanted to cut me up and eat my flesh for dinner. Being 13, I could only assume the worst was going to happen if I didn't at least pretend to be on the phone. I paid for my gaming materials, and that only came out to be maybe $250 since the consoles, games, and external drives were half off. As I was walking out of the game store, I could hear heavy footfall behind me. Was the guy from the game store following me?
Hey, pretty girl, want to come home with me? I've got a lot more games than you could ever want.
A raspy, seemingly breathless voice said behind me. I kept my head turned. No thanks, I have to go find my mother, I responded, trying to pick up the pace so that I could get away from this guy.
Oh, I know where she's at. I can walk you there. Come on, just give me a little time with you.
The man behind me kept insisting. I said no. Now leave me the fuck alone, you creep, I spat, hoping that a bit of hostility would get him to go away. Sadly, I was wrong. It just made him extremely angry to be rejected. He quickly caught up to me and grabbed my arm, yanking it as hard as he could. I remember when my mom had told me to start screaming in a crowded place if someone grabbed me and tried to take me away. Help! Fire! I screamed at the top of my lungs, catching the attention of several larger, more muscular men that had their children with them. Almost immediately after I had started screaming, the men that had actually looked came to my rescue. One of them subdued the guy and told me to find whoever I was supposed to be with and go to the guest services to talk to security. The second guy started asking me what had happened and where my parents were. I told him that my mom was down at the food court waiting for me, and he demanded that he walk me there so that nothing else would happen. It was obvious that I could trust this guy since he had 3 daughters, one of them around my age. When I got to the food court, my mom had this look of fear on her face. That look was how I knew that she had heard the screaming. "Did you hear someone scream fire?" my mom asked. "Yeah, that was me. Some guy tried to kidnap me from the game store on my way down to meet you here," I responded. My mom thanked the man that was acting as a personal bodyguard and even tried to pay him, but he declined, telling her that he had 3 daughters of his own and knew that if the same thing had happened to his girls, that he would expect the same from some kind-hearted people, and even told my mom to pay it forward whenever she could. To the men that saved my life from the dangerous stalker that loved to prey on young girls, thank you. There should be more people like you in this world, so creepy guy that tried to take me away from the game store, go to hell. You belong there. So it happened quite a few years ago, maybe around 2013 or 2014. That's when I changed my entire style. I started wearing t-shirts with shorts and slightly more makeup, natural skater kind of look. So I was at the mall with my mom, and she wanted to check out this one clothes shop. It wasn't really my taste, so I asked her if I could go get some bubble tea. She gave me some money, and I went all the way down to the first floor from the 3rd floor. Everything was okay so far. There were families around, little kids occasionally looking at me because of my skin tone, but I don't mind. I went to go get some bubble tea for my mom and I, and slowly heading back up to the 3rd floor where my mom was at. When I was almost at the shop, these 3 guys said, "How are you?" in the most laziest and effortless English ever, then proceeded to laugh at me. I ignored them because I didn't know who they were, and I thought that they were just bullying me because I'm a different skin tone. Then I heard them say amongst themselves in their own language, she's rude. Never even say hi back. What kind of people is this?" I kept walking to the shop, then I noticed the 3 guys were following me. I got paranoid and decided to walk around the floor, basically 1 round around the floor before heading back to the shop. Then I noticed they were following me all the way, so I started running into the shop as quick as possible. I told my mom there were 3 guys stalking me, and she told me to stop overreacting, and that I was just paranoid. I couldn't stop shaking because I was scared. I looked out the shop and saw 3 guys standing outside the shop looking into it. I decided to hide deeper inside so they couldn't see me. Once my mom was done, she and I walked out, and she asked me where the guys were, and I told her that they were standing behind us. Then she told me that they were not doing anything, and I should stop overreacting. When they saw I was with my mom, they stopped stalking me and started minding their own business. Alright, if you enjoyed the video, go ahead, like, share, subscribe, share on Facebook, share on Twitter, share on Instagram. I don't give a shit where you share it, just share it. Thank you for watching.